Welcome to the Madison Lord Podcast. Today is Friday, January 5th, 2024. Today, college basketball, NBA, NHL, soccer, NFL Week 18, the FCS title game, NBA New Year's resolutions. We'll recap the first episode of We Are Family, news and notes, and then at the end, best bet and Fab 5. We'll start with college basketball. We'll go over yesterday and ahead to today and the weekend. Sacramento over St. Fran, PA, 79-67. Stephen Fawcett over Texas Rio Grande, 85-78. Austin Peay beats Bellarmine, 84-68. USF beats Temple, 76-68. Monmouth beats Towson, 51-43. Stony Brook beats Northeastern, 62-53. Drexel beats UNC Wilmington, 78-63. Delaware beats Hampton, 80-53. William & Mary beats Elon, 77-70. Charleston beats Hofstra, 73-61. NCT beats Campbell, 76-62. Michigan State beats Penn State, 92-61. Gulf Coast beats Jacksonville, 80-70. Columbia beats Mount Visit, 128-52. Merrimack beats Fairleigh Dickinson, 60-56. LA beats Wagner, 69-67. Central Con beats Stonehill, 74-59. North Kentucky beats Youngstown, 79-76. Robert Morris beats IPOI, 92-48. Oakland beats Milwaukee, 100-95. Green Bay beats Detroit, 69-51. Wright State beats Cleveland State, 82-70. Morgan State beats Penn Tech, 82-57. Troy beats Old Dominion, 86-43. Or 73. Stetson beats North Florida, 75-74. Eastern Kentucky beats Lipscomb, 80-72. Number 15, Memphis beats Tulsa, 78-75. Number 19, James Madison beats Louisiana, 68-61. Little Rock beats Edwardsville, 88-80. Southern Miss beats Georgia, 79-73. Coastal Carolina beats Texas State, 71-63. Arkansas State beats Georgia Southern, 109-83. App State beats South Alabama, 91-84 OT. Tarleton beats UT Arlington, 78-76. Utah Valley beats Cal Baptist, 65-58. Southern Indiana beats Tennessee State, 69-67. Western Illinois beats Southeast Missouri, 68-61. Grand Canyon beats Southern Utah, 96-75. Number 24, Gonzaga beats Pepperdine, 86-60. Oregon beats Washington, 76-74. North Texas beats Wichita State, 74-62. Minnesota beats Michigan, 73-71. East Illinois beats UT Martin, 79-72. New Mexico State beats UTEP, 63-53. Number 10, Arizona beats Colorado, 97-50. San Fran beats Pacific, 92-88 in OT. Seattle beats Utah Tech, 70-53. Long Beach State beats Cal Poly, 89-82. Hawaii beats Bakersfield, 78-67. Davis beats Riverside, 83-63. UC San Diego beats Santa Barbara, 79-72. Irvine beats Fullerton, 75-67. Wazoo beats Oregon State, 65-58. Sonoma State beats Utah, 82-70. Santa Clara beats Loyola Marymount, 68-57. And St. Mary's beats San Diego, 81-70. All right, small window tonight, 6:30 on Fox Sports 1. Number 4, UConn Butler. My line is UConn 1.7. Total 149 and 19/20. And it is 5.5 and 142.5. Over. 7 o'clock, Niagara, Manhattan. My line is Manhattan 3 and 1/8, total 143 and 3/20. And it's Niagara 2.5, total 139.5. It's a tough one. I'm going to take Manhattan plus the points and plus 116 outright. Fairfield, Siena. My line is Fairfield by 3, total 141 and 3/20. And it is 4.5 and 139.5. Slide over. Canisius, Mount St. Mary's. My line is Mount St. Mary's by 3/8, total 146 and 3/5. And it's 2.5 and 144.5. I'm going to take Canisius in the points. Miami of Ohio, Toledo, minus Toledo by 3 and 3/8, total 152 and 7/20. So it's 11.5 and 156.5. Oh, I love Miami of Ohio getting the points. 7:30, Rider Quinnipiac. Mine's Quinnipiac by 8, total 147 and 11/20. And it is 4.5 and 148.5. I'm going to lay the 4.5 with Quinnipiac. Iona St. Peter's. Mine's St. Peter's by a half, total 134 and a 20th. And it's 2.5 in favor of Iona, total 125.5. Over. 8:30 Fox Sports 1, number 9 Illinois, number 1 Purdue. Game of the night, obviously. My line's Purdue by 5 and 5/8, total 159/10. And it's 10.5 and 154.5. I'm going to take Illinois getting the points. That's a lot. 9 o'clock, Bowling Green, Akron. Mine's Akron by 5 and an 8, total 141 and 3/8, or 3/10. It's 9.5 and 139.5. I'm going to take Bowling Green the points. And last but not least, 10:30 Fox Sports 1, Boise State, San Jose State. My line is Boise 1.5, total 140 and 7/10. And it is 5.5 and 140.5. I'm going to take San Jose State plus the 5.5. Saturday's games of note. 12 o'clock, CBB Sports Network, number 7 Marquette, Seton Hall. ESPN 2, number 8 North Carolina, number 16 Clemson. ESPN U, Howard NC Central. CW Network, Pitt Louisville. Big Ten Network, Rutgers Iowa. Fox Sports 1, DePaul Georgetown. CBS Miss State and South Carolina. USA LaSalle Fordham. 12:30 ESPN, number 6 Kentucky Florida. 1 o'clock on Fox, St. John's Villanova. From Finneran Pavilion. Why is it there, not Wells Fargo Center? That's weird. SEC Network, Georgia, Missouri. 2 o'clock, CBS TCU, number 2 Kansas. West Virginia, number 3 Houston. Fox Sports 1, number 23 Providence Creighton. ESPN 2, number 25 Auburn, Arkansas. ACC Network, Virginia, NC State. ESPN U, Tulane, North Texas. USA, St. Louis, George Mason. CBS Sports Network, American, Bucknell. 2:15, Big Ten Network, Nebraska, number 21, Wisconsin. CW Network, Miami, Wake. 3 o'clock, number 18, Baylor, Oklahoma State. Number 19, James Madison, Southern Miss. Big Sky Summit Challenge, North Dakota, Northern Arizona. 3:30 SEC Network, Bama, Vandy. 4 o'clock, number 17 FAU at Charlotte. Pac-12 Network, Stanford at USC. ESPN 2, BC, Georgia Tech. ACC Network, Vatech, Florida State. CBS, UNLV, San Diego State. CBS Sports Network, the King Loyola, Chicago. St. Bonaventure, Richmond. USA, George Washington, VCU. 4:30 App State, Troy. 5 o'clock, Big Sky Summit, North Dakota State, Eastern Washington. 5:15 Montana State, South Dakota State. 6 o'clock, SEC Network, number 22 Ole Miss, number 5 Tennessee. That is the first big test for Ole Miss. Iowa State at number 11 Oklahoma. ACC Network, number 14 Duke at Notre Dame. Pac-12 Network, Oregon State, Washington. ESPN 2, UCF, Kansas State. CBS Sports Network, Liberty, Western Kentucky. 7 o'clock, Nevada, Fresno State. 8 o'clock, Pac-12 Network, Utah, number 10 Arizona. ESPN 2, Texas Tech at number 20 Texas. ESPN U, Colorado, Arizona State. On Fox, Ohio State, Indiana. Omaha, Idaho State. Portland State, KC. Denver, Northern Colorado. Weber State, Oral Roberts on CBS Sports Network. Sac State, St. Thomas. 8:30 SEC Network, LSU, Texas A&M. 9 o'clock, number 13 Colorado State, Utah State. San Diego State, number 24 Gonzaga. St. Mary's, Loyola Marymount. South Dakota, Montana. 10 10 o'clock ESPN2, Cincinnati number 12 BYU, ESPNU Oregon Wazoo, Pac-12 number Cal UCLA, CBS Sports Network Wyoming New Mexico, and Santa Clara Pepperdine. Okay, Sunday. 7 o'clock Big 12 or Big 10 Network Michigan Penn State, 1 o'clock ESPNU, Wichita State Temple, ESPN2 UMass Dayton, Niagara Iona, IPY Youngstown, Manhattan Quinnipiac, Massachusetts St. Peter's at 2, Marist Fairfield, Canisius Rider, USF UAB at 3, ESPNU Tulsa ECU, Indiana State Northern Iowa, Drake Belmont on ESPN2, 4 o'clock Chicago State UTEP, Northern Kentucky Cleveland State, 5 o'clock ESPN SMU number 15 Memphis, 5:30 Maryland Minnesota, and 7:30 Michigan State and Northwestern. Okay, now move on to the NBA. Trying to look ahead to an extremely busy night tonight and the weekend ahead. Bucks over the Spurs 125-121. Nuggets over the Warriors 130-127. And Nikola Jokic hits a buzzer beater from 40 feet for the win, which was awesome. All right. Tonight's game is 7 o'clock. You have the Jazz against the Celtics. Against the Celtics by 14 a quarter, so 2:32 and 13/20. And it is 14.5 and 2:39.5 under. Hawks Pacers. Reds Pacers by 5 total 248.5. And it's 3.5 and 263. Holy shit, that's a high total. Give me the other there. 7:30 Thunder Nets. My line is Thunder by 8 and a quarter, so 233 and 3/20. And it's 5 and 234. I'm gonna lay the 5 with the Thunder. Wizards Cavs. My line is the Cavs by 8 and 3/4, so 234. And it is on here it says this is 7 o'clock game. That's weird. 10.5 and 240. Way under. 7:30 ESPN Knicks Sixers. It's probably the same group did the Knicks game the other night. Ryan Rucco, Richard Jefferson, JJ Redick. My line is Sixers 3.5 total 229 and 9/10, and it is 6.5 and 227.5. I'm taking the Knicks again, plus the 6.5 the cover. 8 o'clock Hornets Bulls. Mine's the Bulls by 15 total 226, and it's 8.5 and 222. I'm gonna lay the 8.5 of the Bulls. T-Wolves Rockets. My line is the T-Wolves by 4 3/4 total 221 and 3/5. And it's 3.5 and 218.5 over. Clippers Pelicans. My line is the Pelicans by 2 total 228 and 13/20, and it's Clippers by 1 total 230. Give me the Pelicans plus the 1 and minus 102. 8:30 Blazers Mavs. Mine's the Mavs by 12 and 3/4, so 229 and 4/5. And it's 10.5 and 237.5. Under. Magic Nuggets at 9. My line is the Nuggets by 10, so 233 and 1/5. And it's 10 and 222.5. Over. Heat Suns. This game's not nationally televised. Minus the Suns by 7 till 226 and 19/20, and it's 3.5 and 229. I'm laying the 3.5 with the Suns. No Jimmy Butler tonight. 10 o'clock Pistons Warriors. My line's the Warriors by 14 and a quarter, so 239 and 13/20, and it is 9.5 and 240.5. I'm gonna lay the 9.5 with the Warriors. Feels like a bounce back spot to them. ESPN Grizzlies Lakers. Mine's Lakers by 7 1/4 till 224 and 7/20. Well, really should be 4 1/4. And it's 4.5 and 227 and a half. I'm gonna take the under because I forgot to count for John Morant being back for Memphis. And last but not least, Raptors Kings. Mine's the Kings by 7 3/4, so 232 and a 20th, and it's 5 and 238 and a half. I'm going to take the Okay, Saturday, 7 o'clock. Knicks Wizards, Celtics Pacers, 7:30 Jazz Sixers, and 8 o'clock Bucks Rockets. Sunday, 1 o'clock Spurs Cavs, 3 o'clock Blazers Nets, 6 o'clock Hawks Magic, Pelicans Kings, 7:30 T-Wolves Mavs, 8 o'clock Pistons Nuggets, Grizzlies Suns, 8:30 Raptors Warriors, and 9:30 the Clippers and the Lakers. Okay. Next will be the NHL. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today and the weekend. Pens over the Bruins 6-5, Rangers over the Blackhawks 4-1, Sabres over the Habs 6-1, Jackets over the Flyers 3-2 shootout, Blues over the Canucks 2-1, Flames over the Preds 6-3, Avs over the Stars 5-4 OT, Lightning over the Wild 4-1, Isles over the Coyotes 5-1, Panthers over the Golden Knights 4-1, Kraken over the Sens 4-1, Red Wings over the Kings 4-3 shootout, Jets over the Sharks 2-1. 3 games tonight, 7 o'clock, Blackhawks Devils. From the Peru, Devils are minus 360, Blackhawks plus 280, over under 6.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is plus 118, Devils minus 1.5 is minus 142. I like the over. Canes Caps. Canes minus 170, Caps plus 140, over under 5.5, overs minus 128, unders plus 104. Canes minus 1.5 is plus 146, Caps plus 1.5 is minus 176. I'm taking the Capitals plus 140 letdown after their big win at the Rangers. And then 10 o'clock, Jets Ducks. Jets minus 184, Ducks plus 152, over under 6.5, overs plus 110, unders minus 134. Jets minus 1.5 is plus 130, Ducks plus 1.5 is minus 156. So, for this one, I'm going to do this is a hard one, but I'm going to lay the 1.5 with Winnipeg on the puck line on the road. Okay, Saturday, 1 o'clock, NHL Network, Flames Flyers, 4 o'clock, Panthers Avs, 7 o'clock, Lightning Bruins, Canucks Devils, Sabres Penguins, NHL Network, Rangers Habs, Wild Jackets, Leafs Sharks, 8 o'clock, Blues Canes, Preds Stars, 10 o'clock, Sens Oilers, and Islanders Golden Knights. And then Sunday, 3 o'clock, NHL Network, Kings Capitals, Flames Blackhawks, 7 o'clock, Jets Coyotes, and 8 o'clock, Red Wings Ducks. Now we will go over the notable soccer games from yesterday and look ahead to today's and the weekends. All right, we'll start with La Liga. Osasuna over Almeria 1-0, Athletic over Sevilla 2-0, and Barcelona over Las Palmas 2-1. The FA Cup third round, Crystal Palace Everton 2-2 draw. So that's not great of a result. And we had a red card, Dominic Calvert-Lewin of Everton in the 79th minute. So I don't like the draw there. But we do have 3 games this afternoon, 2:15. You have Brentford and Wolves. Should be an interesting match between those two clubs. Brentford's plus 145, Wolves is plus 190, the draw is plus 220. Wolves has been better than Brentford lately. I'm taking them at plus 190. 230 Fulham, Rotherham. Fulham's minus 600. Rotherham's 13-1. The draw 6-1. Over 3.5 goals plus 104. 3 o'clock Tottenham, Burnley. Tottenham minus 240. Burnley 5-1. The draw is plus 370. I like over 3.5 goals at plus 120. All right. Saturday's loaded. 7:30 Maidstone United, Stevenage. Coventry, Oxford United. Wimbledon, Ipswich. Millwall, Leicester. 7:45 Sunderland, Newcastle. Blackburn, Cambridge at 10. Gillingham, Sheffield United. Hull, Birmingham. Watford, Chesterfield. Stoke, Brighton. Southampton, Walsall. QPR, Bournemouth. Plymouth, Sutton United. Norwich City, Bristol Rovers. Newport, East Lehigh. 12:30 Chelsea, Preston. Swansea, Morecambe. Sheffield Wednesday, Cardiff. And Borough, Aston Villa. And then Sunday, 9 a.m. West Ham, Bristol City. West Brom, Aldershot. Shrewsbury, Wrexham. Peterborough, Leeds. Nottingham Forest, Blackpool. Man City, Huddersfield. Luton, Bolton. And 11:30 Arsenal, Liverpool. So the FA Cup this weekend, absolutely loaded. And then Coppa Italia, round of 16, Juventus kills Salernitana 6-1. Some matches from the weekend to come. We have Serie A 2:45 Bologna and Genoa. Bologna's in 5th. Genoa's in 12th. So it's a pretty big gap between the two. Bologna's even money. Genoa's plus 340. The draw is 1 going with Bologna at even money. Saturday, 6:30 Inter Milan, Verona. 9 o'clock Frosinone, Monza. 12 o'clock Lecce, Cagliari. And 2:45 Sassuolo, Fiorentina. Sunday, 6:30 Empoli, Milan. 9 o'clock Torino, Napoli. Udinese, Lazio. 12 o'clock Salernitana, Juventus. So a rematch of Coppa Italia. And 2:45 AS Roma. And Atalanta. I'm just going to double check to see if there are more games coming up this weekend in some other leagues. Scottish Premiership we won't have till the middle of the month, which is crazy. I don't think Dutch Eredivisie's back for a while either. And then the Saudi Pro League's not back for another month. So, that's really it for soccer for this weekend. Alrighty, here we go. NFL Week 18. I cannot believe we are here already. It is crazy. 2 games tomorrow, 1 in the afternoon later and 1 in the evening. And then we have 14 on Sunday with 6 in the 1 o'clock window, 7 in the 4:25 window, and then the Sunday nighter. All right, we'll begin tomorrow, 4:30 from Baltimore, Steelers, Ravens. So, obviously, Ravens have the 1 seed locked up. They're sitting Lamar. They're sitting everybody. So I am probably not going to bet on sides that are whack. So 4:30 ABC, ESPN, Steelers, Ravens. Steelers need a win and a Bills loss to get in. And then there's some scenarios with the Jacksonville Jaguars losing as well. So a lot on the line for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the big one is win plus Buffalo loss or win plus Jacksonville loss. So if Tennessee upsets Jacksonville, Pittsburgh's in. So my line here is Ravens 4.5 total, 41 3/4. Obviously, that's not it. Steelers are probably favored here. And then the announcers, Chris Fowler, Dan Orlovsky, Louis Riddick, Laura Rutledge on ABC and ESPN, and Westwood 1 is Mike Watson, Devin McCourty. So Steelers are favored. I know that. They're giving 4, total 35.5. I'm going to give the Ravens +4, but I don't think they're going to win. I just think that Tyler Huntley is going to keep that game close with the cast of characters. I'm not going to give out money line either. But I also would consider betting the over. Texans Colts at 8:15 on ESPN and ABC. Joe Buck Schraken, Lisa Salters on the call. Then Bill Rosinski and Derek Rakeley on Westwood 1. Jacksonville, they're winning in with the AFC South. But there's a scenario where they can clinch with the loss. Pittsburgh loss plus Denver loss plus Indy Houston does not end in a tie, which is I don't know about that. But I don't get why Denver is in some of these scenarios as well. I guess it's tie-breaking stuff. My line's Colts 4.5 total, 45 and 11/20. And it's Texans by 1.5 total, 47.5. I don't think the right team's favored here. The Texans have a minus by their name because C.J. Stroud's their quarterback. Give me the Colts plus 1.5 and even money outright. They're going to make the playoffs. And they deserve it. And I read the Jaguars stuff by accident. It's Texans, Colts. So Colts win and the Jacksonville loss, or a tie and the Jacksonville loss. But they're really winning in. And then on the other side, Houston also winning in. So wait a second. Houston wins the division if they win? No way. That win or Jacksonville loss. Okay, I read that completely wrong. But the Jaguars they're winning, they win the division, but the Texans, that was word around, go win or Jacksonville loss or tie. But I would think they need both to happen to win that division. That's weird how ESPN worded that. So I apologize for giving out the Jacksonville stuff first. All right, to Sunday, 1 o'clock. Tampa Bay, Carolina. Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, and Shannon Spake on the call. Bucks win. They win the division. My line is Bucks 6.5 total, 40 and 17/20. And it's 4.5 and 37.5. I like the over. I think the Bucks are going to bounce back offensively and score a lot of points. And I think Carolina in a division home game, and Carolina, a much better and competitive team at home, I think will play with some pride. I like the over in that game a lot, and I think the Bucks covered a number as well. CBS 1 o'clock. Cleveland, Cincinnati. Tom McCarthy, James Lofton, Jay Feely, and Tiffany Blackman. My line's Browns 1.5 total, 44 and 3/10. No Joe Flacco. He's resting. So this is an irrelevant game. Bengals are giving 7 totals, 37.5. That's a lot of points for Jake Browning to be laying. I'm going to take the Browns getting the 7. I'm willing to put plus 240, but P.J. Walker's playing at quarterback, and he stinks, and he cost them that game against Seattle earlier in the year. If Flacco plays in that game, they win. Part of me wonders if Flacco played, if he was the backup the whole year, they win that division over the Ravens, or come darn close. But I certainly think the Browns are a top 5 team in the league right now. Next up on Fox, Minnesota, Detroit. Joe Davis, Darryl Johnson, Pam Oliver. So that group gets a 1 o'clock game. And then Josh Appel and Mark Carrier on Sports USA Radio. Minnesota. A win plus a Green Bay loss plus a Seattle loss plus a Tampa loss, or a win plus a Green Bay loss plus a Seattle loss plus a New Orleans loss. So Minnesota has some wonky scenarios. Detroit's playing for seeding. My line is Lions by 11 half total 45 7/10. And it is 3 and 45.5. It's only 3. I wonder if it's that low for a reason. But I'm laying the 3. I love it. Minnesota's just been a disaster at the quarterback position since Kirk Cousins got hurt. So I'm laying the 3. I love that pick so much. Next, Jets, Pats on Fox. Chris Myers, Robert Smith, Jen Hale on the call. A relevant game. My line's Patriots by 1 total 37 in the 20th, and it's 1.5 and 30.5. I absolutely love the over. I think that the Patriot offense will play as well as it has over the past several weeks against the good teams, and the Jets defense, I think, is one of the more overrated units of the league this year. And I think that the Jets are going to be able to get some points on the Patriots as well, but I really love that over. That's a low number. Next, Atlanta, New Orleans on CBS. Andrew Catalan, Tiki Barber, Matt Ryan, AJ Ross. So Matt Ryan calling a Falcons game. Falcons clinched NFC South with a win plus a Tampa loss in New Orleans. So Atlanta's not in play for a wild card. It's only division. New Orleans is in play for a wild card. So New Orleans win plus Tampa loss or tie, or New Orleans tie plus Tampa loss. And then wild card is win plus Seattle loss or tie plus Green Bay loss or tie, or Saints tie plus Seattle loss plus Green Bay loss. So the Saints still have a shot at the wild card. Crazy enough. My line is the Saints by 2.5 total 40 and 2/5. And we have 3 and 42.5. I like the under. I really like the under in this game. Atlanta's offense just stinks. And it doesn't matter who's at quarterback. And the Saints' defense is actually pretty good. Their defense has been playing well in the month of December. So I like the under in that game quite a bit. Next, on CBS, Jaguars, Titans. Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, Melanie Collins. We went over the Jacksonville scenario already. Tennessee's eliminated. My line is Jags by 4 total 41 and 7/20, and it's 3.5 and 40.5. I like a slight over in this spot. 4 o'clock window now on Fox. Seahawks, Cardinals. Kevin Kugler, Mark Sanchez, Laura Achman. I'm fascinated to see where Nance and Romo are. Just saying. And Burkhart and Olsen. Who are going to be the two big games on the national TV? We're going to find out. Seattle playoff stuff. Seattle win plus a Green Bay loss or tie, or Seattle tie plus Green Bay loss plus Tampa loss or tie, or Seattle tie plus Green Bay loss plus New Orleans loss or tie. My line here is Seattle by 3, total 45 and 9/10. And we have 2.5 and 47.5. Slight under. All right, next. Chicago, Green Bay on CBS. Jim Nance, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson, and then Steve Levy and Max Starks. All right. Favoritism towards an old rivalry. I'm a little salty.
I thought that my lousy team deserved them, but that's because of their opponent that's collapsing rather than them. But whatever. Green Bay has a shot to make the playoffs, and the Bears are really fun. So I guess this game deserves the national window. And then Steve Levy, Max Starks on the radio. Bears eliminated. Green Bay winning in for Green Bay. So a lot of different scenarios. Green Bay tie plus Seattle loss, or tie plus New Orleans loss or tie, or Green Bay tie plus Seattle loss plus Tampa loss, or Green Bay tie plus Seattle tie plus Bucs loss, or Minnesota loss or tie plus Seahawks loss plus Tampa loss, or Minnesota loss or tie plus Seattle loss plus New Orleans loss. So Green Bay is pretty much winning in. I don't see how they don't make it. Must win, obviously. I project 4.5 total, 44 and 7/20, and it's 3-45. Slight lean towards Green Bay. So I guess we know who's announcing Eagles-Giants now. And it's probably the Bird himself, the Eagle himself, and I don't mind that at all. It's a good consolation prize if they get him. Oh, wait a minute. He might be doing this game. Chiefs-Chargers. Ooh, Spiro Ditas, Adam Archuleta, and Aditi Kinkambala. And then Larry Kahn and Brandon Noble on the radio. No Mahomes, obviously. Probably other guys potentially sitting. Kelsey, Chris Jones on the injury report this week. My line here is Chiefs by 4.5 total, 42.5. And the Chargers are favored in this game by 3.5 totals, 35. So I have an 8-point edge on the Chiefs. And I have a 7.5-point edge on the over. I'm going to take the 3.5 with the Chiefs. I know Mahomes isn't playing, but it's the Chargers and Easton sick. And Chiefs might hang around. Their backup quarterback isn't terrible. Next, on Fox, Broncos, Raiders. Jason Benetti, Matt Millen, Megan Olivi. Denver's involved in a lot of these playoff scenarios for some reason, but they're eliminated. I think it's because of tiebreaker stuff. My line here is Raiders by 6 total, 42 and a fifth, and it's 2.5 and 30.5. I absolutely... Ooh, so I have a 3.5-point edge on the Raiders. They have an almost 4-point edge on the over. I love the over with Stidham and O'Connell. I think that's going to be a higher scoring game than people think because of the division rivalry. All right, Eagles, Giants. CBS, Ian Eagle, Charles Davis, Evan Washburn. They deserved Danson Romo, but Eagle got the Eagles. My line is Eagles by 6, total 45, and 3 fits. Obviously, Eagles win and Cowboys lost. They win the NFC East. So they're playing everybody. It's a must-win for Philly. They've lost so many games in a row. The line is 5.5 and 41. I feel like everyone and their mother's betting on the Giants, but I'm going to take the over in this game. I love the over in this game. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than people expect. And then you know who's going to be Cowboys Washington, because Rams San Francisco is Adam Amin, Mark Schrelift, and Christina Pink. Neither quarterback is playing. Lions Niners 11 total 46 and 9/20, and it's 4 and 41.5. I'm going to lay the 4 with the Niners. The Rams are sitting their team, and I think the Niners have more depth, so I'll lay the 4. That game's going to be like a preseason game. Dallas, Washington, Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olson, Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi. The favoritism for the Dallas Cowboys continues, even though Trakeman's not at the network anymore. I I thought that group was going to get the San Francisco game, but they disrespect the Rams. But that's a meaningless game. That's why they're not there. And Dallas, obviously, with the win, they win the division, so that's why they're there. My line is Cowboys 4.5, total 49 and a fifth, and it is 13.5 and 47.5. I'm taking the Commanders and the points. That's way too many points. I could see the Commanders hanging around one last time to try to play with pride against the division rival. Even though there's going to be a ton of Cowboy fans in the building, I'm going to take the Commanders getting the points. And last but not least, Bills, Dolphins, NBC, Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, and Melissa Stark, and on the radio, Ryan Radke and Mike Golick. So the Bills win the division with the win. Playoff berth. Tie. Pittsburgh lost their tie, or Jacksonville lost their tie, or Houston Indy tie. And the Dolphins, they're in the playoffs, but they clinched the AFC East with a win or a tie. My line here is Dolphins by 2.5, total 49 and 7/20, and the Bills are favored by 2.5, totals 48.5. I'm taking the Dolphins plus the 2.5 and plus 128. Everyone and their mother loves the Bills. So I'm probably going to end up betting on the Bills money line because yeah, because I have the Dolphins to win the division from before the year. So the hedge move would be to bet the Bills on the money line and lay like I don't know, a third of a unit on it or something. That would ultimately be the move. Okay, we have the FCS title game over the weekend too. That will be on Sunday at 2:00 on ABC from Frisco, Toyota Stadium, between Montana and South Dakota State. South Dakota State's been the most dominant team all year long. Montana's gone on a nice run to get to this point. My projection is South Dakota State by 3, total 48 and 11/20. And it is 13.5 and 49.5. I'm going to take Montana to cover the number. That's way too big. South Dakota State is just a juggernaut, but Montana State, I think, will hang around and score points with them. I think South Dakota State probably wins by like 8 to 10 points, but 13.5 is a big number. I'm going to take Montana plus the points, but I do think that South Dakota State will ultimately win the 2023 FCS championship. Okay, now I'm going to do New Year's resolutions for every NBA team. We did baseball yesterday and the NFL 2 days ago, and Monday we'll do hockey. All right, we'll go in alphabetical order like we've been doing. The Atlanta Hawks. Recoup future assets in a DeJounte Murray trade. DeJounte Murray's in trade rumors. We know now that this combination with Trae Young and him do not work, and they're not trading Trae Young, so they'll trade DeJounte Murray. The Boston Celtics. Get Jaylen Brown more motivated. He's the getting paid the big bucks for a reason, and you got to get him going. And it's funny because Derek White and Kristaps Porzingis have outplayed him for most of the year. The Brooklyn Nets. Get the guy to go with Mikal Bridges. I mean, it doesn't have to be at this trade deadline. It could be in the summer. Whether it's Donovan Mitchell or somebody else that may become available. Maybe it's DeJounte Murray. But we'll see with Brooklyn. Maybe it's Devin Booker if the Suns fall apart. The Charlotte Hornets. See what you can get for Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier. These veterans have been on the Hornets for a while now, and I think it's time for them to go to contenders. The Chicago Bulls. trade Alex Caruso while his value is high. I think a lot of teams are giving the mix for Caruso, and he'd be great on a bunch of these different teams. The Cleveland Cavaliers. See if anyone will overpay for Jared Allen. The Cavs are having somewhat of the year from hell. Evan Mobley and Darius Garland are both hurt. Donovan Mitchell, there's rumblings that he wants out of Cleveland after a year plus. And there's a lot of teams that could use centers, and I could see a lot of these teams overpaying for Jared Allen. The Dallas Mavericks. Keep Luka happy at all costs. This means staying healthy, continuing to play better, Kyrie Irving shutting his mouth and doing his good stuff on the court. And the more turmoil there is in Dallas, the more Luka noise there's going to be. And I know the Mark Cuban thing was weird. We talked about that a little bit, and it makes no sense still. But just keep Luka happy. The Denver Nuggets. Get Aaron Gordon right before playoff time. Aaron Gordon's been down this year compared to last year. We know he got bit by a dog. He's going to be out for a while. Once he recovers, give him some time. Maybe he'll get healthy. But I don't think they can repeat without him. The Detroit Pistons. Cash in on Bojan Bogdanovic. This guy, I think, will have a lot of value to somebody as a three-point shooter and somebody that you could play small with. The Golden State Warriors. Explore major changes, as in trading Draymond Green and Klay Thompson. The window's closing for Golden State if it hasn't already. The 2022 title was really lucky, but earned at the same time because of the brilliance of Stephen Curry. But sometimes if you don't make change soon, you're going to be stuck in hell for a long time. Look at the Chicago Blackhawks. The New York Giants were like this with Eli Manning. And I'm talking about the Blackhawks, although they did get Connor Bedard this year. But with Kane and Taves, they were in hell for a while. The Los Angeles Kings, although they're better now, but there was a couple years where they were down with Kopitar and Jonathan Quick. I can think of a couple of others, but the Warriors still want to become that. And then Miami avoided it. The Lakers have obviously avoided it. They won a title, but they didn't avoid it with Kobe, but they've avoided it obviously with LeBron. But the Warriors need to avoid that. And the Celtics avoided it by trading Pierce and Garnett while they still had value. And it turned out to be one of the most lopsided trades in NBA history. And Boston was the team that traded the big names at the time. So we'll see where that goes with Golden State. Houston. See if Jalen Green still makes sense with the team. Jalen Green is somebody that I feel like hasn't lived up to being the number 2 pick in the draft. He's on a team that a lot of people need the ball. Alperen Sengun's their best player all of a sudden. And Jalen Green was supposed to be one of, if not the guys on the team. So I would explore trading him and see if they can upgrade that spot somehow. But I just don't know who that player is. That in the team that would say, like, okay, we're not having a good season. We'll trade this veteran to Houston and see if Jalen Green could be our guy. Or a guy. The Indiana Pacers. Make a push for the 4 seed this year. Yeah, I think the 4 seed's wide open. We know who the top 3 seeds are going to be. It's going to be Boston, Philadelphia, and Milwaukee in some order. But the 4 spot's wide open. I think it's going to be between Indiana, Miami, and the Knicks. But I think that Miami will get it because they're Miami. But if the Knicks get better at the deadline, Miami has some injuries, I could see it being the Knicks. But Tyrese Halliburton is the best player within those 3 teams that I was just talking about right now. Although for the playoffs, I'd probably rather have Jimmy Butler. But right now, give me Tyrese Halliburton. He's playing better than everybody on Miami or the Knicks. The Los Angeles Clippers. Replace the depth traded for James Harden. Whether it's in the buyout market or you trade a couple of contracts for contracts. So we'll see there. Los Angeles Lakers. Keep LeBron and AD healthy at all costs. I know they're under 500 right now, but they have a lot of injuries. I think they'll explore some trades. I think a trade would be the easy cop-out for New Year's resolution for the Lakers, but they aren't doing anything if LeBron and Anthony Davis are not healthy. If those guys are healthy, they have a chance to go far. And they were healthy last year, and they made the conference finals. So, there you go. The Memphis Grizzlies. Make the play-in tournament. It's doable for Memphis. They obviously beat the Pelicans twice, which is a big deal in the West, where things stand right now. Memphis is 5 back in the loss column from the Lakers from the 10 seed, but they're 8 back from the 8 seed from Houston, and Houston's a team that I think can drop. So Ja can carry them, and they can go on a run, and maybe the Rockets fall out and Memphis slides in there. So, or maybe Dallas falls out too. But for like Golden State to potentially get in, but Memphis should be eyeing the play-in tournament, and then anything could happen in the play-in tournament. The Miami Heat. Improve the bench before the playoffs. I don't think their bench is as good as it was a year ago. So I think that they should explore upgrading the bench. The Milwaukee Bucks. Get an impact buyout guy. They don't have the assets to make a trade. They traded everything for Dame. So they'll luck out on the buyout market. The Minnesota Timberwolves. Get more playoff-proven guys. Mike Conley's had some moments. So has Rudy Gobert. So has some other guys on this team. But I would like to see them get a bench guy that's been in some big playoff games before that could become available. The New Orleans Pelicans. Get Zion back in the shape. Zion has not been in shape all season long. I know they're playing well, but get this guy back in shape. The New York Knicks. Get that freaking superstar at all costs. All we talk about the Knicks is when are they going to get that big star. It hasn't happened yet. Leon Rose got here 4 years ago, and he hasn't delivered yet with the big star. Listen, Jalen Brunson will go down as one of the best signings in franchise history. He's a star, but he's not a superstar. Julius Randle might actually turn out to be a really great free agent signing in this franchise's history, as much as the fans don't appreciate him and don't really like him for his shortcomings in the postseason. But he, after a slow start to the season, has turned it around. They have a lot of draft picks. They have a lot of young players. They didn't give up everything to get OG Anunoby. But you never know. I know over the summer there's talks about Giannis, but they surprised everybody and traded for Lillard, and that took Giannis off the market. The Sixers got better after trading James Harden. That got Embiid off the market. The Mavericks are playing good basketball right now and are in a decent spot in the Western Conference. That's why Luka's off the table. But any of those three guys can get back on the table in the summer, and as could one Devin Booker if the Suns miss the postseason and say Durant's not happy, and maybe Booker will be unhappy because the Suns just haven't come through. So Devin Booker might be the next guy, and I would absolutely go heaven and earth to get him. But that should be their New Year's resolution, because you never freaking know what can happen in the playoffs. If Miami collapses, maybe Jimmy Butler's available. I don't think Karl Anthony Towns fits that bill. To me, he's more like a Donovan Mitchell type that is exposed in the postseason. So I really think those guys, they on paper qualify, but they're not Embiid, Giannis, Luka, Booker. They're not those guys. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Get another big man. We talked about Jared Allen earlier in this segment. He makes sense for them. That's obviously the target for OKC, but there could be other guys that could become available. You never know. The Orlando Magic. Decide on who stays around with Paolo and Franz. Paolo and Franz are their foundation. They're the long-term keepers. But decide on who stays. I mean, is Jalen Suggs a keeper? Is Cole Anthony a keeper? Is Anthony Black a keeper? So you got to decide on those guys if you're Orlando. Jed Howard. Philadelphia 76ers. Make a trade similar to the Lakers last year. I think that could be the team that I know they're better than last year's Lakers from a regular season standpoint. And Joel obviously is playing even better than he did last year, crazy enough. But if they make a trade similar to the Lakers did last year, they can absolutely win the championship this year. It could be for Jordan Clarkson and Kelly Olynyk of Utah. It could be for Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward of Charlotte. Maybe Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks of the Pistons. Siakam and Embiid would be an odd fit. Although OG Anunoby would have been absolutely perfect, but New York beat Philadelphia to the table and they put RJ Barrett on the table, and I think that's why the deal got done. But a big player trade, maybe Tobias is in it somehow if they want to get creative, but if Philadelphia makes like a trade similar to the Lakers did last year, they need to be right there at Boston in the East, in my mind. The Phoenix Suns. Luck out with buyout guys. They traded everything for Durant and Bradley Beal, and now they're pretty much stuck with a lot of former lottery picks and journeyman on their bench. And they just got to luck out with some buyout guys. The Sacramento Kings. Make a trade for a forward. They need a forward to go with Sabonis and Fox. I love the idea of Kyle Kuzma there, but Kuzma hasn't played that well this year, but maybe they can get him at a discount or something. That, to me, makes a lot of sense. And they were another one that should have tried for OG. San Antonio. Get a real point guard. I'm sick of this Jeremy showing that point guard thing. They need a real freaking point guard. Come on. This is Pop's worst coaching job ever, in my mind. Just like, I feel like this is arguably Bill's worst coaching job with New England, but even Bill's gotten them to play hard. I know Pop is getting them to play hard, but some of these decisions have just been awful with the Spurs. The Toronto Raptors. See what you can for Pascal Siakam. Bill Simmons of The Ringer is obsessed with the Draymond Green and Kuminga for Siakam, or Kuminga and Wiggins. I'm sorry, not Draymond. Wiggins and Kuminga for Siakam. Kuminga changed the scenery, although he's played better lately. And then obviously Siakam goes to the Warriors, but the fit with him and Draymond would be weird together. And maybe Chris Paul's in that trade too. But yeah, see what you can get for Pascal Siakam. Utah, see what you can get for Jordan Clarkson and Kelly Olynyk. Obviously, those are guys that I think could swing a title race. Philly makes a lot of sense for them. I think even New York makes some sense for them. Obviously, Clarkson replacing the Quickly minutes, and obviously the Knicks need depth at center after they lost Mitchell Robinson. Although they did get Precious Achiuwa, that helps, but they need better than Taj Gibson. Come on. And imagine like Olynyk or Hartenstein as your starter, and off the bench you have Olynyk, Precious, and Jericho Sims. So those guys make sense for the Knicks too. And obviously, Miami makes sense for those guys. But yeah, a lot of teams make sense. And then the Washington Wizards, pick an actual direction. Come trade deadline, come the summer. Like, if you're trying to be good, commit to it. And if you're trying to be bad, blow it up. You can't be half pregnant here. Come on, Wizards. All right, so there you have it for NBA New Year's resolutions. Now we'll recap on We Are Family. It's a new show that is on Fox. Anthony Anderson is the host. It premiered on Wednesday night, but we just didn't talk about it on the Thursday show. So it pretty much is the same people that created The Masked Singer, and it's where the contestant, or as they say, the relative, is obviously a celebrity relative, and 100 members of the studio audience play the game and win for cash prizes. There's 3 rounds, and if you get the answer correct, you win a prize or cash prize, and then the prizes go up round by round, and then the third round comes down to one contestant that they call the star member or star audience, star player. That's what it is. Where you guess the correct result the fastest, and then that star player gets to guess in the final round who the celebrity is in the final round. So the first round, the relative's name was Evantia. She performed The Greatest Love of All by Whitney Houston. So they show 3 clues in the first performance. There were church singers, $3, and a treasure box. Guesses from the studio audience. A gentleman, Matt, guessed Beyonce. A lady, Taylor, guessed Halle Bailey. Gentleman, Al, guessed Kelly Rowland. And then Lewis guessed Scottie Pippen. I guess they couldn't tell behind the drone or behind the circular thing if it was a male or a female behind there. But it looked obvious to me that it was a female, like on the TV. But I guess you just couldn't tell from the studio. And then the mom, who's Anthony Anderson's mom, she's going to be the Ken Jeong of the show. She's going to give out, like, the dumbest guesses. She went with Johnny Depp. And then Evantia sang Stronger by Kelly Clarkson. And the 3 clues were Broadway, 2 people jumping, and then an angel with 3 bodies, so that would represent Charlie's Angel, you would think. Contestant or studio audience member Jen guessed Amber Riley, Juan Luke, Nelly, Devin, Michelle Williams. And then they had the relative sing it, the second song with the celebrity, which was Stronger. So as the second set of clues were unveiling, you heard the voice of the second, or the voice of the celebrity in the second song. In this case, it was Stronger by Kelly Clarkson. And by the way, my guess for this was Kelly Rowland, because I thought it was somebody from Destiny's Child and Charlie's Angels. That was an obvious guess. But it was Michelle Williams. So right off the bat, somebody who was on The Masked Singer as a contestant was on We Are Family. So we're gonna count how many crossovers from Masked Singer to hear on this show, and not counting Anthony Anderson and another individual who we're gonna get to in a second. But in terms of contestant and costumes, Michelle Williams was the butterfly in season 2. And it turns out that Ivantia is Michelle Williams' cousin. Round 2 was a pretty young girl named Audrey. She performed Valerie by Amy Winehouse. Pretty good performance. Clues. A teddy bear with a chef's hat, caution tape, and then a laughing emoji, so maybe that's a comedy hint. Mama Anderson guessed Mariska Hargitay. And then she said Joe Biden, which was a Ken Jeong level guess. Alyssa, a contestant, guessed Gordon Ramsay, which was pretty good. But yeah, Mariska Hargitay is who the mom was thinking about. Studio audience member Charlie guessed Billy Murray, and then Audrey with her relative performed Still Rock and Roll With Me by Billy Joel. And then there was like an image of somebody catching a raccoon, soup and crackers, and then Washington Community College. Studio audience guesses Chubby Chase, Bill Murray, Donny Osmond, and then Audrey performs again singing the Billy Joel song with the relative. The relative gets unveiled, and it is none other than Joel McHale. That is somebody I was not expecting to see on the show. It's a good get for the first episode. I mean, they got all good gets in the first episode. A lot of big names, but fun of them to get Joel McHale. And Joel McHale was not on The Masked Singer at all this past season, which was shocking. He was always a guest panelist at least once a season. I honestly don't think we've seen Joel McHale on The Masked Singer as a guest panelist in about a year and a half. So I don't know if like there's stuff going on with him and Nick, or him and some of the producers there, or even Ken. But it's surprising that Joel hasn't been on The Masked Singer in a while. And it turns out that Audrey is Joel McHale's cousin as well. And then they went to another studio audience member to guess Joel McHale as well. And then it was announced who the star player was, who got the guesses correctly and accurately in time. And it was a gentleman by the name of Adam S., who was the star player. And the final round relative's name was EJ. And with the final round, you actually perform the song with the relative, and then 5 clues are revealed. And then they sing the song again with the celebrity being revealed. So the final round's obviously harder. So EJ sang How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You by Marvin Gaye, and then the celebrity you saw from behind the sphere. Clues. A photo of Nicki Minaj, a comedy tool, donut, bread, cartoons. I thought about Ariana Grande for this, but I thought she was too big to be on the show, just like she's too big to be on The Masked Singer. I ended up going to somebody who played a cartoon, Christy Romano, who played Kim Possible. Other studio audience members' guesses: Amy Schumer, Ariana Grande, and then Adam's guess, the star player, his guess was Nikki Glaser. And who was it? It was indeed Nikki Glaser. It turns out that EJ is Nikki Glaser's father, which was unreal. And because Adam got it after the second clue, which was the comedy clue, he won $75,000 in addition to the earnings he already won. So awesome show, awesome season premiere, and we'll be covering the show all winter long. And then before you know it, Masked Singer is going to be back on, as well as Survivor. Okay. All right, the news and notes for today, we're going to rapid fire it. Will Howard transferring from Kansas State to Ohio State for his 5th year. That's a veteran quarterback for them. 2023 top quarterback Malachi Nelson to visit Boise State after leaving USC. Ole Miss running back Quinshon Judkins to the transfer portal. Over 2,700 yards in 2 seasons. Dalvin Cook has picked a new home, and it's the Baltimore Ravens. So that's a good home for Cook for the postseason. The NFC South is eyeing Bill Belichick as he could be a candidate for teams if the Patriots move on. That means New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina. I mean, could Tampa be a sleeper if they lose this weekend and they get eliminated? Sergio Ramos goes off at a fan. He goes, "Have a little respect. People are talking here." Some Yankees news here. Blake Snell is interested in the Yankees as the Yankees are planning an active January amid link to Ace. That's according to Andy Martino of SNY. That guy has just been remarkable with his coverage with the Yankees and the Mets. But if they sign Snell, that's a really good backup option for them. The Yanks are uninterested in Imanaga as fly ball pitcher, not considered a good fit for Yankee Stadium. NJ.com, Randy Miller. He's a hack. He's a hack. And then also by the same guy, Jordan Montgomery prefers the Rangers as he rather return to Texas amid Yankees' interests. I mean, I don't blame him. He won the World Series with them. And the Yankees traded Jordan Montgomery. And then the Mets signed former Yankee and Cardinal Harrison Bader, 1 year, $10.5 million. We'll see how that works out. Draymond return expected soon in the coming days. Ooh. The Lakers and Darvin Ham rift growing. As growing disconnect between the coach and the players around rotation and adjustments. Yikes. So Gotham has acquired National Women's Soccer League champs Lavelle and Sonnet. So that's really good pickups for them. How about this? Liam Nylander could get $90 million, 8 years of an extension this offseason. So that is really interesting. DJ Moore made a post after getting snubbed from the Pro Bowl. The NBA fined the Nets $100,000 for not playing healthy rotation players on December 27th against the Bucks. Ricky Rubio retires amid mental health struggles. He had a decent career. Congrats to Ricky Rubio. And then how about this from Giannis? He said he always thinks about the 4 losses to the Pacers, even when you're about to get freaky at night. Wait, what? What kind of quote is that? A couple of draft declarations from the college football playoff semifinalists. Texas defensive tackle Byron Murphy and Alabama cornerbacks Kool-Aid McKinstry and Terrion Arnold. NBA All-Star votes are out. And leading the way for fans, Giannis and LeBron, and then top guard in the East, Tyrese Halliburton. Front court, West, LeBron, Durant, Jokic, Davis, Kawhi, Paul George, Sengun, Victor, Wemby, Holmgren, Towns. Guards in the West, Luka, Steph, Shea, Harden, Kyrie, Edwards, Ja, Fox, Clay, Reeves. Eastern Conference front court, Giannis, Embiid, Tatum, Butler, Brown, Bam, Mikal Bridges, Porzingis, Kuzma, Banchero. Guards, Tyrese Halliburton, Dame Lillard, Trae Young, Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brunson, LaMelo Ball, Derek White, DeMar DeRozan, Drew Holiday. Surprised Julius Randle's not in the top 10 for front court. I know his fan base hates him, or some of it, but he should be up there. He should have more points than Kyle Kuzma. Banchero belongs, but I would take Kuzma out. The Wizards are terrible. So, again, Julius Randle getting a lot of disrespect in the fan voting. And then the NHL All-Star selections are out as they announce the All-Stars, and then remaining 12 players be chosen by fans. So, for the East, Sebastian Aho, Matt Barzal, Sidney Crosby, Rasmus Dahlin, Alex DeBrincat, Jack Hughes, Boone Jenner, Travis Kelce, Nikita Kucherov, Austin Matthews, David Pastrnak, Sam Reinhart, Igor Shesterkin, Nick Suzuki, Brady Tkachuk, Tom Wilson. Where's Ovechkin? That's very disrespectful. And I went with Panarin over Shesterkin on the Rangers. Sorry, Igor got hurt and was bad for a little bit, so I wouldn't have gone with Shesterkin. And then the West, we have Connor Bedard, Oliver Bjorkstrand, Jack Eichel, Philip Forsberg, Connor Hellebuck, Thomas Hertl, Quinn Hughes, Kirill Kaprizov, Clayton Keller, Elias Lindholm, Nathan McKinnon, Connor McDavid, Jake Ottinger, Cam Talbot, Robert Thomas, Frank Vetrano. The Kings, I would not have gone Talbot. I know he's been really good this year, but I would have went elsewhere. Kraken, I don't know if I would have went with Bjorkstad as well. But those are the two that just make me scratch my head a little bit. 29 points in 38 games for Bjorkstad, and then Cam Talbot, a 2.1. You know what? Yeah, maybe I'm salty about Cam Talbot and how dismal he was with the Oilers back in the day, but he was a good backup at the Rangers. He's just bounced around a lot. I'm surprised Cam Talbot made the All-Star team. And then Matthew Beniers, only 18 points. He's been obviously disappointing for the Kraken. And Vince Dunn, I think, was the snub on the Kraken, if you asked me. So, there's some takes on the NHL All-Stars, and that's it for News and Notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. I have a lot of options to where I can go. And I apologize, guys, for not getting to golf. It was just too hectic of a show. I'm just going to keep it simple, guys. I'm taking under 263 in Hawks Pacers. to do a quarter unit on it. That's just way too high. So I'm going to take under 263 between the Hawks and the Pacers for my best bet of the day. Now I'm going to do the Fab Five for NFL Week 18, the last one of the year. Very sad, obviously. 4-1 last week, and I went 4-1 the week before, so combined 8-2 in the last 2 weeks. That's the hottest I've been with picking all year, but this week is obviously the hardest week for the picks. So, you guys know the drill. I'm going to lay a fifth of a unit per pick, and we'll see how this goes. All right. Pick number 1, I'm taking the Colts against the Texans. The Colts have been good to me, and I think that they are the better team, and I can't believe they're a home underdog in this game. And the reason why the Houston Texans have a minus by their name is because of the quarterback, and that's it. Give me the Colts plus 1.5. They're going to rock it at home, and they're going to win this game and make the postseason. Pick number 2. This is a hard one, but I'm going to take the Browns getting 7 against Cincy. That's just way too high. I know the Browns have a ton of people on the injury report, which makes me nervous. But 7's a lot of points. A lot. So, I'm going to actually take the plus 7, the Cleveland Browns against the Bengals, just to cover. Pick number 3. I'm laying the 3 with the Lions against the Vikings. This is a pick against the Vikings and their quarterback situation. If they rest Goff in the rest of the game, eat my crow. I'm laying the 3 with Detroit, and maybe they win by 7. Who knows? Pick number 4 of the Fab Five. I am going to take the over 41.5 in the Eagles-Giants game. I think that's going to be a high-scoring affair in the Meadowlands. The Eagles have been scoring, but they give up a lot of points. And I could see the Giants scoring over 20 again here. So I'm going to go with over 41.5 between the Eagles and the Giants. And the last pick of the Fab Five, I'm debating on a couple. And I decided that I'm going to actually hold my nose and take the Commanders getting the points against Dallas. Only because that's just way too big of a number. In a division game, in a game that the Cowboys, I know all they have to do is win. But sometimes they just let loose a little bit and take their foot off the pedal. I wanted to talk myself into the over in the Bucs game. That's a pretty good one too, but the Panthers' offense last week just spooked me. So instead, I'm going to take the Commanders plus the points against Washington or against Dallas, and then the underdog outright pick. I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs over the Chargers plus 146 for my underdog money line outright pick of the week. All right, so there you have it for this very long Friday show. We'll be back on Monday recapping everything and looking ahead to everything on Monday as well. Black Monday coming up in the NFL. We'll do some speculation and whatnot. And then we have NHL New Year's resolutions to do as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.